Once upon a time, in the heart of a bustling city, there lived a young woman named Rose. She was known for her captivating beauty and warm personality, which drew people towards her like moths to a flame. However, despite the attention she received from countless admirers, none could hold her interest long enough to steal her heart away. One day, as Rose walked through the park on her way home from work, she came across an old woman sitting on a bench. The woman wore a shawl around her shoulders and had a kind face that radiated wisdom and experience. Intrigued by this unusual encounter, Rose decided to approach the stranger and strike up a conversation. "Hello," she said, offering a gentle smile. "I hope I'm not disturbing you." The old woman chuckled softly before replying, "No, my dear, you are not disturbing me at all. In fact, it is quite refreshing to have someone take an interest in talking with an old lady like myself." Rose couldn't help but notice the twinkle in the woman's eyes as she spoke. There was something about this encounter that felt fated, almost as if they were meant to cross paths on that very day. As they continued their conversation, it became clear that both women shared a love for storytelling and dreaming of impossible things. "You remind me so much of myself when I was your age," the old woman said thoughtfully. "Back then, I too held on to dreams that seemed far-fetched and impractical." Rose looked at her inquisitively, eager to hear more about this mysterious woman's past. The old woman took a deep breath before continuing, "I once had a lover who was as elusive as the wind, always there, but never mine to hold on to." Intrigued by the tale, Rose asked, "What became of your love story?" The old woman sighed wistfully. "We were destined for each other, yet our paths kept diverging. We would meet again and again, only to be torn apart by fate itself." Despite the sadness in her voice, there was also a sense of acceptance, as if she had come to terms with the painful truth of their situation. Rose couldn't help but feel a pang of empathy for the woman who shared such heartache. As they continued their conversation, it became apparent that both women were kindred spirits, each yearning for love and understanding in a world that often seemed too cruel to bear. The old woman, who had come to be known as Agatha, became Rose's confidant and friend, someone she could share her hopes and dreams with without fear of judgment or ridicule. One day, while walking through the park again, Rose noticed a tall, handsome stranger who seemed to glow with an inner light that made her heart skip a beat. He was unlike any man she had ever encountered, charming yet aloof, as though he too were searching for something just beyond his reach. As their eyes met, there was an unspoken understanding between them. It felt like they had known each other in another life, and this chance encounter was merely a reminder of the connection they shared. Rose introduced herself shyly, extending her hand to him. "I'm Rose," she said softly, hoping he wouldn't see her trembling from anticipation. The stranger took her hand gently before responding with a warm smile. "I am Ethan," he replied, his voice rich and melodic like the sound of distant thunder. "It is an honor to meet you." As their conversation continued, it became clear that they were indeed kindred spirits, both searching for something just out of reach, yet drawn towards each other by some unseen force. They shared stories of their pasts and dreams for the future, each finding solace in the other's presence. Agatha had been right all along. It seemed destiny had brought them together, though they knew not why nor where their path would lead. But none could deny the electricity that coursed through their veins whenever they were near one another, as if they were two halves of a whole finally reunited after an eternity spent apart. As time went on, Rose and Ethan grew closer, their bond strengthening with each shared laughter or whispered secret. The world around them seemed to fade away, leaving only the two of them amidst the stars above. One night, as they walked hand in hand under a moonlit sky, Ethan turned to face her. His eyes filled with emotion so raw and pure that it took Rosie's breath away. "Rose," he said softly, "I have been searching for you my entire life, in countless faces and across endless miles." She looked at him then, seeing not just a man but her soulmate, the one person she was meant to spend eternity with. And so there, beneath the watchful gaze of the heavens above, they vowed their hearts to one another, promising an eternal love that would span both time and space. And as Rose walked away from Agatha's side one final time, she knew in her heart that this was just the beginning. A new chapter in a storybook tale of impossible romance and of everlasting devotion for love, like life itself, is infinite.